and I had the fucking ginger ale in my hand with the tequila. And I was so relieved that he just said, you can't bring that in and not you're fucking coming with me or you're under or whatever. I unscrewed the fucking tequila with the 5 mollies, drank that, and walked into Madison Square Garden. And I'm on 15 mollies in maybe 4 hours, something like that. And I'm in there and I'm just fucking rocked. Like, I remember walking through the fucking hallways and people have on the fucking glowing fucking lights thing. And I remember like getting to our seats and people were also fucked up at our seats. So they're like high-fiving this. And I'm saying, it's my birthday. So I'm saying to these people, thank you for coming. And they're looking at me like, thank you for coming. Like, thank you for coming to my birthday. Like, I think somewhere in my head, I thought it was my fucking birthday party, the Madison Square Garden with fucking 20,000, whatever, 40,000 people, however. And I had a great night that night. We fucking party. We stay at the concert. Everything's amazing. And so that's a Friday. Like Saturday, Sunday, I'm still up. I'm taking Molly every like hour, you know, taking a little. I go to bed. I wake up and I remember like it was probably 4 days after that I was supposed to go to a birthday dinner, and I remember being like, I can't get out of bed. Like, I remember being like just feeling cold and feeling like shit and awful, and I was like, I think I might have done it this time. Like, there might be no coming back from where I am. Like, I would fucking hear something in my hallway and get sketched out. Like, I was fucked up. And I remember saying, I got to go to the doctor because I couldn't eat anything. I would eat, I would throw up. I'd eat, I'd throw up. It was just over and over. So I go to the doctor, and he's like, when's the last time you ate a fucking vegetable? And I'm like, I don't know, you got chicken fried rice. They got peas in the fucking chicken fried rice. I eat. He goes, you got to stop what you're doing right now. He goes, you got to stop drinking for a while. He goes, you got to eat some fucking vegetables. You got to try doing some fucking kind of exercise. I hadn't done exercise in, I don't know, 6-7 years, like any like even like a walking on a tread, you know, like I actually had a treadmill in my living room because sometimes I would get fat, like I would gain fucking 20 pounds and I'd get on the treadmill on incline and watch a fucking TV show or whatever. But like besides walking, I had done nothing for so long. And he's like, you got to do this, you got to do that. So that week, I remember I left his office and I went to a place that made fucking vegetable juices. And he goes, go get just all vegetable juice. So I go, all right. I drank that and I felt high. Like I felt, but because my body had no fucking nutrients for 7 days, but also like, I felt good. Like I was like, holy shit, like I could keep this down. My body, I haven't had vegetables in who knows how long. I feel real good. I went to like the park the next day. I meet up with my friend and he's like, yeah, we're going to start fucking doing yoga. You should start. So I start doing the fucking yoga and that, and I'm still taking the Percocets and the Xanax and everything. But I was like, I made the decision then that I was going to stop doing Molly and stop drinking. And that was 7 years ago. I haven't been drunk since then, but I was at a dinner like 4 years ago and somebody gave me a vodka soda by mistake. And I thought it was a soda. I just said club soda and the guy thought it was vodka club soda because everybody I was with is partying. And when I took a sip of it, I realized there was vodka in it. And I remember people like freaking out and it was this whole big thing. And I became obsessed with like not liking the fact that I was that guy. Like oh no, we don't know what could happen. He has no control over this. Who knows what would happen if he drank this. So I called up my best friend. So I'm 34 now. I met him in preschool, like 30 years. His name is Rex. He's the fucking greatest guy. And I go, I need you to come with me to dinner and we're going to open a bottle of wine and I'm going to have 4 or 5 sips of a glass of wine. I just need to know what's going to happen. If I have to live my life differently I just felt this way. Like if I drink these 5 sips of wine and it leads to a fucking crazy night of partying and this, then I know I'm never going to drink again, whatever. But I need for myself to know, because I was laying in bed at night like, what if that sip that I took was too big? What if there was more alcohol? What if there was more vodka in that fucking glass than there was? What if there was straight vodka and I took a sip? Would I have fucking fallen off? So I wanted to know for me. And I went to meet my boy and we had a fucking couple sips of wine and that was it. It was over. I was like, okay, now I know I'm not so weak. Or, you know, and I'm not trying to say that if somebody can't do that they're weak. I just wanted to know, am I this weak for around alcohol? If I have 4 sips, is it going to take over my fucking mind and make me do things, you know, just make me fall back into that same person I was? I couldn't shake that not knowing thing. And Yeah, so it's been 7 years, and there would probably have been 3 instances where at dinner I took a couple sips of wine. Otherwise, I haven't had a single drink. I haven't been drunk. I haven't touched Molly or Coke has been around the same. Like Coke was like 23 and I'm 34, so 11, 12 years, something like that. And then Percocets is less. Percocets is like 4 or 5 years, maybe 5 years. Xanax took me a long time to get off. Xanax is a fucking bitch. For me, everything was easy compared to like people talk about opiates, and I guess obviously the withdrawal from something like heroin is a lot rougher than Percocets. But what I had to deal with the benzos is like a fucking. It's just the worst night because.
How long was the process?
Years. It was a really long time because I was taking something like roughly 3 milli. I would take like a bar and a half every day, maybe like a little bit more. But it just became, which is not that in my head, I don't think anything is a lot, but I feel like that's not a lot, but it became 6 years of doing that every day or 7 years or something. And so I had to go see a specialist because I couldn't shake it. I'm like the Percocets I figured out on my own. The drinking, I was like, I'm just, I'm done, everything. When with the benzos, I couldn't figure out how to even lessen my dose. And I'm going to tell you what the guy told me. Obviously, anybody out there, don't take my fucking advice. I'm no doctor. I'm just telling you what he told me, which was the first thing you have to do is get yourself on a schedule. Because your brain, when you're not on Xanax, it's up here, then you take your Xanax and it's here. And sometimes you don't take it for 3 hours, so it gets back. He's like, you have to get on a regular thing. So if you say 2 hours after I wake up, I take my first Xanax. Then I take one every 3 hours, and I take the exact same amount. So I was like, oh, so that was my first step. That was my first meeting. He goes, just start doing that. I go, okay, no problem. Next time I came to see him, he's like, all right, once you get comfortable with that, he's like, you're going to go less and less, super slow, over and over. So you're going to go from taking 0.5 6 times a day to taking, half of 0.2 or however you want to do it. So he gave me, for the first time in my life, I had a prescription for fucking Xanax, which is crazy. Like it took me quitting to finally get a prescription. I was just getting them on the street, And so he goes, because I'm taking the bars. He goes, well, I'll give you milligrams so that it's easier for you to quit. Because if you have a bar, it's hard to make 0.25 out of a bar or 0.37, whatever you want to do. So he gives me these 0.25s. So I start taking like 1.5 0.25s every 3 hours or whatever it is.